even though I say I've forgiven and I'm ready to heal and move forward, I think there's still just a lot to do.
Yeah.
It's
I
a long
thought I
process.
I thought that was perfect. I
Mhm.
thought that was perfect. And I wish I had said this earlier because I've been thinking as we're talking is, whenever I'm around an intuitive and they may give a reading to someone and they'll say there may be other people that need to hear,
Mhm.
whatever the message is.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
so I hope that's the case,
Yeah.
for whoever's watching or listening to this,
Mhm.
because these are powerful. And it is so affirming how
Mhm.
every time I've done this with you,
Mhm.
it's resonated with what I know I need to hear.
Mhm. Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's not always a message you want to hear, but it's the message that your spirit knows you need to hear, and
Yeah.
that's
Hey, everyone. Let's start healing. I'm Adrianne Murchison, and welcome to the Let's Start Healing podcast. We have more in common than we think, and what we have in common can change the world. Well, my guest today is a intuitive person. She's a healer. She has many dynamics. She is Stephanie Dean, and she is not only a good friend to me, but to this podcast and has appeared on the show before. And I will place some links in the description of this episode. Stephanie is a very wise person, and she her spiritual gift is to connect with spirituality through angel card readings. And she has uh, a big container full of dozens of packs of angel cards, beautiful, beautiful cards that we will share during the episode. And what we're doing is we're talking, and she is giving some insight into the coming year for herself, for me, for you. It is a really, really wonderful conversation. Stephanie is a person that really can be so focused and create changes in her life. I feel like I'm going to sneeze. So I'm going to see if it passes. Anyway, I'm sure I mentioned in the last episode, because it wasn't that long ago, our previous episode, I'm sure we discussed changes in her life. She is a very gifted corporate person, and she operates naturally for somebody like me or you, possibly in the corporate world. She has a lot of gifts that allow her to navigate naturally and easily, but that wasn't her happy place. And so she decided less than 2 years ago that she wanted to make a change. And so she retired from that life and started her own business, and has been so focused on this business. And it has been fascinating to me how she was able to just think about it, decide, and do it. And again, that's in a previous episode that I will put in the description. I want to invite you to subscribe to the podcast if you haven't already. Please share Let's Start Healing with at least one person that you know. Like this episode. Let me know what you think and leave a message in the comments wherever you are getting this particular episode. And I want to share some recent episodes with you, because I've been putting them out pretty frequently over the last week. So this is episode 158, and I have episode 156 is a wonderful conversation with Pastor Jesse L. Sims. He is the pastor and leader of Mega Faith Center in College Park, and he talks about how nothing is impossible. He shares this insight through his own life journey, which is really remarkable. So, and you will learn that if you haven't watched the episode already. And then my most recent episode 157 is seeing the essence of a person. And that's a solo episode in which I address a theme that came up in an episode that I recorded over the summer about being seen in people wanting others to see them. And I'm a candidate of that. I am a candidate of that. And I was talking to a girlfriend on the phone when I was driving back from Thanksgiving, when I was driving back home. And she was talking about an experience in her life. And she said, I just want them to see me. They don't see me. They don't see me. And as she was saying it, I was like, oh my God, I feel like I'm hearing my voice in my own head. Like I'm hearing myself. And I've been seeing this come up, this theme and desire about wanting to be seen in other podcasts or something that I've read. And so I speak to that, as well as the importance of being connected to ourselves and to God, and so on and so forth. So let's get to Stephanie. I think you're really going to enjoy this episode. Let's meet her. Let's get started, and let's start healing. Welcome, Stephanie.
Thank you, Adrianne. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. I'm excited to do this. And, I actually thought about Seth Meyers because he does a Thanksgiving.
Oh,
Every Thanksgiving now he does a show with his family.
I could see that.
Yeah.
I really like this, though. I think what we're going to do is great because the wind down at the end of the year is just so important to set the tone for the next year. So I feel like this is going to be a great conversation.
Definitely. I think so too. How do we want to get started? And I'll do some video later so people can see this, if you don't mind.
Sure.
Like, you are the angel card reader healer.
I feel so connected. And I have a lot of cards, and you could say, well, you don't need to keep buying cards. It's not that I like to buy cards. I feel like cards come to me and they find me, and they offer a chance for the angels and my guides to speak to me in any language, that any conversation that comes up, there's going to be something that's really specific to the message. So I love the venue of talking with my angels through meditation and the cards.
Do you want to share briefly how this first came to you?
Sure. Actually, my mother-in-law gave me my first deck. She was interested in having me find some spiritual connection and a path for me to just have good conversations, with my spirit. And so she gave me, I don't have it here, but she gave me the animals deck. I think it was called Spirit Animals. And then she gave me one that was called the Healing with the Angels. This was my second deck that she gave me. And it's really beautiful. It just has beautiful messages, and they're very simple. They're like dreams or blessings or balance.
So
and
gorgeous.
so
Yeah.
these are really just so pretty. And I just started, this is about probably 20 years ago now that I started, more than that, actually. It's probably about 25 years ago that I started just one at a time. When I felt like I wanted to connect, I would just sit with them. And then over time, more and more have come into my purview. And now it's just it's a daily practice that I just, sometimes it's multiple times a day, like how people pray multiple times a day.
Yeah.
I'll talk to my angels multiple times a day.
I love it. And I'm looking at a deck, Inner Peace cards. That's Dr. Wayne Dyer. Just beautiful.
We've got life purpose. We've got oracle card, gateway, language of letting go is one of my favorites lately. And the teachings of Abraham well-being cards. These are I've been using these a lot this year. My mother-in-law actually had these, and when she passed, I received some of her decks. And then Archangel Michael, he's my go-to. I've got lots of nice decks that are just so special to me, at least.
Wonderful. So how do we want to start? We're going to pull cards for each other. And how do we want to start? What do you recommend?
Well, I recommend that we connect. So let's just ask the angels to be present with us, which I've already done, but let's just do it formally. And any guides that want to come in, and any of our higher self connections, any people that want to speak to us about the highest and best intentions for 2025. And let us, just offer a shift of perception, an opening of awareness, lifting of the veil of awareness, or just in general guidance. So we're just going to ask for all of those things. And I'm
Okay.
just going to take a couple of deep breaths and we'll set the tone and intention. We thank you in advance for all the guidance that you offer us, and we offer it sincerely to listen and to take heed and to be able to have a conversation with you back and forth so that we can understand the clearest message that you have to offer. We're going to talk about 2025. Would you like me to start and then I'll pull
Sure.
some for you and then you can pull some for
Yes.
me?
Yes.
Okay, great. So the way that I choose the cards personally is I use kinesiology. So I muscle test to just say, is it this deck? And sometimes I'll just jump and just know exactly which deck, but it's my way of connecting to say, yep, this is the place where the message is going to come through. Is there any specific question you want to ask about before we go, or we're just going to say general for 2025?
I'm open. I would say to share about being led. And I want to say that you and I did reading over the phone the other day that was so, I felt so aligned with. And that was very helpful and affirming, about being led. So
Okay.
I guess I'll start with a continuation of that.
Okay. So we're just looking, angels, for general guidance for 2025 for Adrianne, and we're also going to ask for any continuation or key messages that would help her to have her most powerful year and to be really working in her purpose to serve the purpose that she's here to serve on earth and be abundant.
I love that. If I had the words, I would say all of that.
All that.
Those are things I was thinking earlier in the shower.
And be abundant.
Yes.
In abundance. Okay, so let's see if there's a good, yes, there's definitely a card here. So, oh, this is a beautiful card from Sandra Ann Taylor deck. I actually just received this today as a gift for Christmas, but I've worked with this deck before quite a bit, and it's
Who gave
beautiful.
that to you?
My daughter gave this to me.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah. So, gonna just shuffle up so we know for sure that this is not just taking the card that was on top last. Oops. Sometimes they jump, and when they jump, we want to take a peek. We're going to just put that one to the side and ask if that has any relevance. Okay. And then I'm going to hold it to my heart and ask for Adrianne's highest and best. And then I'm going to shuffle. And you'll have your own path, so you don't have to do my path. You can just
I was
feel the
thinking
heat
like
or just pick a card at random. Or
I was thinking that how will I approach this in a way that's comparable?
And it doesn't have to be comparable. It's your own way, because this is the way that has evolved for me over years as I talk to the angels. Part of the shuffling process is my meditative process. Like I'll kind of let ideas simmer and come up. And even like we were doing a reading the other day and you said, after this is finished, I want to tell you something. I said, no, tell me now, because sometimes that's part of the reading. It's like you're part of the conversation that you want to bring forward, and then they can directly answer it.
Right.
Okay, so the first card is action. Oh, that's a beautiful card. All right, so is there more?
I love the way this card looks. I'm going to hold it up.
Yeah. So this is horses. Horses are ready to charge.
Oh, that's so funny that this is coming up. Horses.
Why is that?
Well, because my nephew just finished watching Yellowstone, and I am rewatching it. And I texted him the other night, and I said, "Do you know that I'm a horse person? And is this something like, yeah, I know that, or no, you never knew?" Because I'm a big horse person.
I did not know that.
And I have been since, I don't know, junior high school.
Wow.
Yeah.
I can't believe I never knew that. Okay, so horses are about action, energizing effort, willingness to work. This card tells you that now is the time for more aggressive forward movement. The galloping horses represent intentional and concerted action directed to your goals. This card, upright, indicates that you are on the right track, but your determined efforts must increase. The white horse is inner action of spirit and thought. The black is the outer work that still needs to be done.
Ooh.
So continue taking action and trust your intuition. In time, you'll break through and see the results you've been working so hard to create.
Oh, I'd like to speak to that. Is there
Yeah.
more? Is there more?
The affirmation says, I'm responsible for my own life. I take action toward my goals and my own happiness every day.
I love this. I think I needed to hear it. I love that you're saying the black horse. Did you say that's like the shadow work? Did you say
It's
that?
the outer work that needs to happen.
The outer work.
Yeah.
How do you think of outer work?
Okay, so white horse is interaction of spirit and thought. I think you're really tuned in there. The outer work, what came to me in my mind because of our previous conversations, is networking. It's bringing in the skills and resources of people that can help you amplify your business, monetize your business in terms of having the podcast create that abundance for you. And what speaks to me is, how are you going to work on this in a community of people who are podcasting, and how that might help you grow.
Right. Well, I love it. And what's coming to me is, in addition to what you're saying, is the idea of playing big
Yeah.
and not small.
Right. Right.
And yes.
I love that. Yeah.
Do the numbers mean anything? The number on here is 17.
It's just, how do I look it up in the book?
Oh, okay.
It's not a significant number for the reading.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
okay. So is there another card? Yes. Let's see if we can get the next one out. Is it in the same deck? No.
I have to really ask God to help me when it comes to your cards.
It will come. I have no doubts. The angels and I and these cards are very connected, so I'm not concerned about that. It'll come. Okay, so this is from Archangel Raphael, the healer.
These cards are so beautiful. I mean, this isn't even going to show up right, but this is just the inside of the box, and it's not going to show up well. They're so rich.
Yes,
very,
I feel that way too.
Rich.
That's part of what I love about these cards, is they feel good in my hands, like they're all gold embossed on the outside and everything, and they just feel they feel very reverent and, yes, rich. So Raphael is the one who reminds us frequently to take care of ourselves first, because when we're good, life is flowing. And
I feel like you pulled one of Raphael's cards yesterday, or the other day.
It was just a general take care of your health card. And it might come up again, because when he really wants you to hear it, he'll give it to you 3 or 4 times.
One time while you're doing that, I was talking with an intuitive, and the intuitive was connecting with my mom. And one of the messages was to drink more water, which seems like a small thing, but I can see where not drinking water has an effect on me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay, so you and I both like our wine, and what's coming up right now is sobriety. How are we going to do that?
After today.
Maybe after New Year's Eve.
I like that though. I actually like it. You don't want to read it, or you want me to read it?
No, I can read it.
I like it. And it's a beautiful card too. I don't know if and everything over here. I don't know if this can be seen, but I think it's beautiful.
I get these cards frequently. Detox, sobriety, different things. And what speaks to me about it is that we cannot be our clearest vessel for our purpose when we have toxins in our body. And that speaks to me a lot. So this, the affirmation says, Dear God and Archangel Raphael, thank you for adjusting my cravings and in helpful directions so that I only desire life-affirming foods and beverages. And you've done a lot of work already on your diet and just focused on what you eat.
I don't feel like that over the last 5, 6, 10 days, but yes, I try. But I love that I got this card, to tell you the truth.
Okay. This card appears because your health improves as you adopt a sober lifestyle. Archangel Raphael can reduce or eliminate addictive cravings and help you adjust so that recovery is pleasant and harmonious. He can also guide you to specific healthcare professionals or support groups. other meanings, you're becoming increasingly sensitive to chemicals, so take steps to avoid them. I'm actually feeling this myself this year.
Oh man,
I've
this is big
stopped
time true.
Yeah, I've stopped drinking wine as much as I used to, quite a bit, and now I really notice it when I go back to it.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think that
Big time true.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, is there more here?
And I want to share something that to this point, so I stopped eating beef and I feel that I should not eat seafood either. And I was trying to wean myself off of seafood, starting with salmon, which is the main thing that I would eat. And I stopped eating salmon for maybe 3 weeks and I had to go back to salmon
Mhm,
because I was
mhm,
eating potato chips
mhm.
and
Yeah,
other things I shouldn't eat.
yeah.
And so I don't know how I'm going to figure this out,
Mhm,
but I totally agree about the chemicals and
mhm,
then just the idea of I feel like I shouldn't be eating fish,
mhm.
even though I really like fish. Um, so yeah.
There was a book series that I read a number of years ago. It was right around the time that I met you, and it's called Anastasia, the Anastasia series,
Hmm.
and she was a very plant-based focused person. She lived in the wild, and it really motivated me to get a lot healthier in my diet to where we eat salads, most days of the week, and I have a lot of fruit and stuff. Because if I could resist my ego's desire for other stuff,
Yeah,
I think my body would be much happier if I just did
absolutely.
fruits and vegetables. All right, so this is from Archangel Michael. It's new beginnings and a fresh start. And the prayer is thank you for bringing new opportunities and offering support and for helping me release and heal my past. Fill me with trust as I experience these life changes.
This is so on time.
Yeah.
All of these cards,
Mhm.
I'm going to show this one. And I'm going to show the back of the card too, because it's
Yeah.
a very beautiful card.
That is a picture of Archangel Michael as the artist depicted, and basically saying, "I'm committing my life to you. This is what the commitment is." Actually, one of the cards has the same picture on the back, and it's make a commitment. So it's just saying, "I'm making a commitment here."
Yeah.
Mhm.
And I want to speak to this and also the sobriety one because I felt like it touched on it. Um, just that first of all, I feel so blessed, even though I've had, I've mentioned this in, one or two other podcasts, even though there's been so many unexpected changes like relationship, job, loss of job, I feel very, very blessed.
Mhm.
And also, I feel that I want to have some counseling to kind of to help heal
Mhm.
the grieving
Mhm.
when it comes to male family members
Mhm.
and relationships. I feel there's some gelling in there.
Mhm.
And so I'm really interested in that. And then this mentioned support groups, new opportunities, offering support, healing my past. It just seems very on time. And I feel very healthy about the grieving process,
Mhm.
if that
Mhm.
makes any sense.
I think that totally makes sense, and it's something that's been a theme for you for a
Hmm.
long time because you've watched your family members pass and having to reset again and again and again. Um,
Yeah.
the messaging here says, as one chapter of your life closes, another one is beginning to bloom. Right now, you may only notice the first inklings of new growth in your life. So Archangel Michael sends this card to encourage you to keep going. There's great goodness in store for you. Stay filled with faith and keep a positive outlook. Additional meanings, a healing is imminent. Past mistakes are forgiven and forgotten.
Mhm.
An improvement in, let's see, many things are blooming. I mean, there's just a lot of possibilities for blooming, but he's just saying, let the past go because an improved mindset boosts your happiness and confidence. This
I
is
love it.
very auspicious. And it's kind of the journey. Like the story of this is we're talking about 2025, the things that you're going to do in 2025. You're going to go for more action. You're going to focus on detoxification and just cleaning up your systems because the sensitivities to the chemicals, and then really being open to that new beginnings and fresh start is really very
Yeah.
positive.
And something that's been resonating for me is being open to what I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And, just in my prayer conversation with God is there's things I don't understand, and I don't want to like dwell on things I don't understand in a negative way.
Mm-hmm.
Just, I'm trying to communicate. I'm open to what I don't know,
Yeah.
show me what you want me to know.
Mm-hmm.
And really that's also about trust
Mm-hmm.
and being led.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's what's
Yeah. I feel like that's going to lead right into the reading that you're going to do for me, because I've felt a lot of letting go energy this month, and especially this week. And even today, one of the cards that I drew said, you're ready for a settling of the energy, the intensity of energy that you brought, in the sort of frenetic, desperate energy that says, I've got to make this work.
Right.
And now it's time for a settling. And it just feels a lot like,
right.
Similar.
And because you've started a new business and you've been working really, really hard,
Mm-hmm.
and you get very, very focused.
Mm-hmm.
And last year was a lot. Last year's in 2023
Mm-hmm.
was a lot.
Yeah.
So I could see that being so true. It's time for you to chill.
Yeah. And just let God, just release and let God take care of it.
Yeah. So let me just say a prayer.
Okay.
For myself and for us. Let me sit right and get comfortable and just ask God to lead me, to give me the right sensibilities and the awareness to be led to the right cards and the right boxes, and that they resonate in the highest way for Stephanie. Amen.
Thank you.
Okay. Well, my eyes landed on something, so I'm going to go right here. My eyes landed on, and I was like, what does that say? Because it was it's a colorful box.
And it's really a perfect message for you right this second.
Yes. It says, trust your vibe. And my eyes landed on this color, and I couldn't tell. I could see the name, Sonia Choquette. And did you mention her a moment ago?
Yeah.
Okay. So.
And, the angels are very powerful, and God is very powerful. So I've been listening to Marianne Williamson a lot this week. And one of the things that she said was, we're willing to take a pill and trust that that pill is going to make us feel better, but we're not willing to trust that God has the power to make us feel better.
Right.
And it's the same for these cards. Like, you're worried that you won't pick the right cards, but they got you.
Yeah.
They know exactly what message they want to share. So you're going to find it.
Right.
Without really working at it too hard.
Okay. I was going to take the easy way out, and I was going to have you pull the card. But I'm going to pull the card.
It's going to be perfect.
Okay. So the card, this is the front of the card.
See, it's a perfect card. I don't know what it is, but it's already
perfect.
It
says downtime.
Oh, yeah, that's perfect.
It's what we were just talking about.
That's perfect.
It says downtime.
Yes.
So
here's what number is that? Number is the tiny little number right here. 3.
Okay.
So this is the 3.
That's
2. Good.
I got it. I'll turn the page. Okay. I will turn the page.
Okay.
All right. Downtime. To tune into your intuitive and psychic vibe, it is essential to step away from the hustle and bustle of the world from time to time. As a sixth sensory person, start appreciating the importance of refreshing your body, mind, and spirit by scheduling downtime. I think that's a great idea for you to schedule it.
It is. I'm taking it.
Time to do nothing but relax, hang out, and simply allow the world to go by. It affords you the inner peace you need to refuel your psychic engines and gain access to the higher and more subtle vibrations that you may have bypassed by living in such a fast-paced, intense world. This is just so true from my perspective for you.
Yeah.
Your ego generally doesn't approve of downtime because this is just so Stephanie.
Humility now. Humility now.
I'm going to repeat this. Your ego generally doesn't approve of downtime because it's asked to give up control, which it doesn't want to do. Rather, it wants to run your life through fear and anxiety, keeping things in your head and under control, the hallmark of 5 sensory unhappy living.
Yeah.
Downtime liberates you from this fear-based treadmill and reconnects you to the pace and peace of universal flow. As my personal spiritual teacher once told me, sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is nothing. Now, Stephanie is one of those times. Exclamation point. Is at the end of the sentence.
I was kind to you.
No, I am being kind and loving. This is love.
No. It totally received.
Yes.
Received. Yeah. And so this is really, really hard for me. It truly, truly is. Because I'm a person who wants to wait until all the chores are done before I give myself permission to relax. I want to wait until we've got all the money that we need in our business to sustain ourselves and sustain the business before we say we'll not work 7 days a week. I mean, that's truly, truly what we've been doing for the last year. And this year, we hit our goal for the end of the year, or at least we're really, really close. We're probably going to hit it in the next few days. And I said to Craig, we have got to start committing a day to take off to get back away from 7 days a week. And it might not be the weekends because that's when people are available to call us, but it might be like a Tuesday. And we're just going to have to do that. And then another thing that spoke to me about this is that when we take our daily walk, we walk around the lake in our neighborhood, and I see the trees and I see the water, and it's just so beautiful and it just fills my spirit. But it doesn't have to do anything. It's just being. And
Yes.
I think that all the time. And I'm like, I got to do more of that.
Yes.
And so this is definitely the message.
Yeah. And that has been a concern for me as a friend of yours, because I could see how fast you were moving, over the last several months. So I'm so glad to hear that you were thinking on your own about it and that this is coming up. And
really
so on time.
Yeah.
And I do want to say, if you don't have to share about this if you don't want to, but I do love how you and Craig, your husband, you do have your days where it's just you two and you get away. And if there's anything you want to share about that beyond that, but I think that's really lovely.
No, it's the key to our marriage being successful for real. When we first started having children, we'd had 10 years together before we had children. And we were best friends. We were just really, really close. But we also were working through a lot of our own stuff. When couples come together, they all have their own baggage that they're bringing to it. And so we were working through a lot of that. Then when the kids were born, immediately I felt the loss of that independence. And it wasn't that I didn't want them. I loved them, of course, but you just got to have that downtime. And so I wouldn't even give it to myself as much as I would give it to him. And then I'd try to squeeze out a little bit more for myself. But now we learned that we just take a day. We have nothing on the schedule. It's just going to be, let's just focus on each other. And we do it at least once a month if we can, and more often, and at least like once a quarter. We take 2 days because there's even a little bit more value in 2 days. And
so, I love that. I'm going to go to this one deck because my sensibilities have kept going here.
Okay.
So I'm going to go here. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
And all of them are okay.
Okay. This is called Akashic Tarot, the Akashic Tarot. And
get this out of the way for you.
Thank you. These, what these remind me of for me is the equivalent of, I love notebooks. Like I love notebooks that feel really good and have really good feeling pages. And these cards just feel so good.
I know exactly what you're talking
Very
about.
luxurious.
I like to journal while I'm doing the meditations with the cards, and I get some of that really good paper in a journal.
Mm-hmm.
And at the end of the year, one of my things that I like to do is to go back through that journal for the year and just collect insights, things that I've meditated upon and how things worked out, watching how the angels have helped, resolve those
Mm-hmm.
those things that seemed big at the time.
Yes.
It's a really special process.
Beautiful. Well, I decided I was going to take, as I just kept moving the deck around, that I'm going to just take the top card after. So let me
Perfect.
see.
Now you turned it upside down, so we'll want to notice that was reversed.
Okay.
There'll be a section in here that tells about reversed.
Oh,
Yeah.
interesting.
Mhm.
Okay, so read it. It's upright
Yeah,
right now.
Sure.
This is so interesting. So 6 of keys
Mhm.
in crescent moon.
Mhm.
And I find it so interesting because it looks like an artist chiseling. I
Mhm.
don't know. I will see what this means. And this
Yeah.
is the other side of the card. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful cards.
Mhm.
Okay, so
Okay, so
get
6 of keys will show up in the back here. There it is.
okay. And then reversed. Oh, okay. When I turn the page, I'll read reversed.
Mhm.
Okay. So upright, 6 of keys in crescent moon. A man works diligently sculpting a bust in his workroom. Behind him is a large window that overlooks the rolling hills of a harbor city. The moon in the sky points left, growing to full. It's called the increscent moon. The moon in the sky points left, growing to full. It's called the increscent moon.
Mhm.
The waxing moon on the card shows an exciting time of increase, abundance, and growth. Your efforts have combined with external circumstances, and even the stars have aligned. It's beautiful. If things have been financially tight for you recently, relax. This is great opportunity for increase and fulfillment.
So do you remember that this card came up for you the other day?
Did
This
it?
is a really good card.
Oh
Yeah.
my.
Yeah.
Um,
And yours was upright. So it's exactly as you just
This is great opportunity for increase and fulfillment in every way, financially, creatively, and even in your reputation and prestige. So just do your work and get ready to receive. So the reversed
Mhm.
says this reversal shows a phase of decrease is here.
Mhm.
The moon is waning, the tides are ebbing away. Energy, money, and your creative flow may feel tight for a while. The forces around you seem prohibitive. So conserve your energy rather than spend it on futile action. Though this seems like a difficult time, don't be dismayed. It's not permanent. The moon, like all things, moves in cycles and quickly too. So take a deep breath, rest, and know the time of increase will return.
Well, this really goes with the downtime card. And it speaks to me because we need a rest. We
Mm-hmm.
pushed hard through the holiday season in terms of our marketing and our business. And what I've learned is that so my plan in January is to really work on our processes and just kind of pull away a little bit, and from the intensity of the marketing that we've been doing. So I don't feel fear about this. In fact, I never feel fear about any cards, but the message is that's a second message of downtime to me.
Yeah.
And it just says, don't worry, just keep going.
Yeah. And I think it just really does speak to your hard work,
Mhm.
like the man chiseling, and you're creating something in the work that you're doing.
Mhm, mhm, mhm.
So
Yeah,
I love this.
yeah.
Beautiful
Mhm.
card. I want to just show it again. It's beautiful. One more.
Okay.
This is Healing with the Angels, the Oracle cards. What's up, angels? Because the box was taking its time opening. I love doing this.
I do too. I'll come back and do this with you anytime.
Yes, yes. I'm so glad you wanted to do it because
Yeah.
I said, I don't know, is she gonna want to do
Oh,
it?
totally. I will read angel cards any day of the week, any
Yeah.
time of the day. I feel like that's my joy. I've been working on, because I'm such a working person, that I don't stop and do joy, do joy.
Things that
And
bring you joy.
yeah,
Things
and
that bring you
I
joy.
can't
Yeah.
even name exactly what that is. In fact, I was talking about it with Craig and Jake, and Jake said, "What is your joy? What do you do for joy?" So I started putting it at the top of my to-do list. I'm like, "Joy, number 1." And I didn't know what to do. And then I thought, "You know what? This is my joy. This
Yes.
truly is,
Yes.
like, I could do this all day, every day, and I would be so happy." So,
Mm-hmm. Yes, yes, yes. Okay. So the card that I pulled says, oh, it's such a beautiful card. Forgiveness.
mm,
And
mm,
we see the woman sitting there.
mhm,
Beautiful card.
mhm,
This is going to be interesting.
mhm,
Forgiveness, meaning let go of anger and resentment and feel yourself healed.
mhm,
You don't need to forgive the action, just the person, so that you can be at peace.
mhm.
By drawing this card, your angels guide you to release anger and irritation. They realize that you may be perfectly justified in feeling angry, yet they ask you to look at the high price you pay for being the vessel of anger. Forgiveness does not mean what you did is okay to me. It simply means I am no longer willing to carry around pain in response to your actions. When we hold unforgiveness in our hearts, we only punish ourselves. After all, your angels, we only punish ourselves after all. Your angels will help you release unforgiveness if you will just ask for their assistance. That's so beautiful.
One of my goals for this year is to have less pain, literally. Like, I have back pain a lot, and I have vertigo, and I thought when I got out of work that that would go away, that I would start to heal my body, and I haven't felt that yet. So there's work to do still here. And then, you think to yourself, I feel like I've done a lot of forgiveness in my life, but there's still more to do. So
Yeah.
it's, I was telling you just the other day that I feel like it's been a little bit of post trauma since we finished our caregiving time, because for 10 years we were really pretty much in it nonstop. And this past year, I haven't felt like we've completely let it go, even though I say I've forgiven and I'm ready to heal and move forward. I think there's still just a lot to do.
Yeah.
It's a long
I
process.
thought that was perfect. I
Mhm.
thought that was perfect. And I wish I had said this earlier because I've been thinking as we're talking is, whenever I'm around an intuitive and they may give a reading to someone and they'll say there may be other people that need to hear,
Mhm.
whatever the message is.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
so I hope that's the case,
Yeah.
for whoever's watching or listening to this,
Mhm.
because these are powerful. And it is so affirming how
Mhm.
every time I've done this with you,
Mhm.
it's resonated with what I know I need to hear.
Mhm. Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's not always a message you want to hear, but it's the message that your spirit knows you need to hear, and
Yeah.
this is, like, I said a silent prayer. I didn't say it out loud when you were starting to say, "I really want in 2025 to feel better, because I feel like I'm ready to have joy. I'm ready to spring forward into the life that I really wanna, live," which includes travel and includes being outdoors and being active, and yet I still feel a lot of physical pain, and I really wanted to know what I could do to help release that, and I
Yeah.
think this is it.
Yeah. And I feel that. It's funny. I have been for a long time wanting to feel uh just good in my body,
Mhm.
from
Mhm.
whatever food I'm eating or whatever I'm drinking,
Mhm.
and fit,
Mhm.
like
Mhm.
physically fit.
Yeah.
And so I don't know, maybe about a month and a half or 2 months ago, I was having I was going to have like a couple of free days,
Mhm.
like Thursday and Friday were going to be free. And I was like, yeah, I'm like, tomorrow's the next day. the first day of the rest of my life, because, I was going to, get up and go to the gym and, do whatever I had planned. Right. And so I keep saying, remember when you were going to change your life? Like I even said that today, like, yeah, guy, remember when I was going to change my life a couple months ago? It was the first day of the rest of my life, because I failed at that, so, but I definitely.
Well, I heard a podcast just this week that said, you didn't fail, you just didn't finish.
Right. And I do it as a joke. But, and an awareness of, can always do it again. But we know what we want to do for ourselves.
Yeah.
We know what we want to do. We know what we need to do.
So why don't I'd like to finish this up if I may propose. Let's draw a card for those who are listening that there may be a message that they want to hear or need to hear, or that the angels would like to share.
That's a wonderful idea.
That would be maybe not specific to us, but just specific to the podcast ecosystem.
Okay.
Would you like to do one and I'll do one too?
Okay. You go first.
Okay, sure.
I love this.
I do too. So I'm going to ask for the angels, the guides, the higher selves of anybody who's listening that needs this message, that you have a message you want to share with this higher self. Please come forward now and share your messages. We don't need to know the questions because you know the questions. And we'll just be a vessel to offer the answers in words that you can understand. Okay, so there's Raphael again. Raphael is the doctor or the healer. Caffeine free jumped out, so that might be something somebody needs to hear. The toxins and the chemicals is becoming a bigger issue for us, I believe, now in society, not just for you and me, but in society. And I think it's because we're moving more towards light beings instead of carbon-based.
Mm-hmm.
And so you're seeing a lot of, changes with gender, changes with how we eat, what we feel comfortable eating, how we receive in our bodies, those things. And really cleaning up that diet is, it's just part of moving more into the spirit form.
So true, because foods have, they're processed, and all of our bodies, each of our bodies is different. We respond differently to different ingredients.
Meditation is the next one. So meditation, and I didn't mean to draw two cards, but one jumped. So I just feel like they were both going to come out. Meditation is saying you just need to spend time, whatever your form is, hearing the messages, being open to hear it. The Latin word medicus, which means to make whole or to cure, is the root of both meditation and medication.
Wow.
So an alternative to medication may be meditation. And this card is a suggestion for the latter. Many studies correlate meditation with longevity and significant health benefits. Meditation simply means focusing your mind consciously, either on a peaceful thought or a positive intention. You can take a class, watch an instructional DVD, follow a guided meditation audio, do an angel card reading, got to slip that in there. All forms are helpful and healthful. Specific meanings may include holding positive thoughts about your health with affirmations, studying with a teacher, teaching, writing, or guiding others through meditation as part of your healing work, or attending a meditation healing retreat. Okay, so hopefully that helps.
That's very helpful. Mm-hmm. That's very timely.
Mm-hmm.
Very, very timely.
You want to do one?
Yes. I am pulled to this Wayne Dyer deck.
Inner peace.
Yes. And I want to show what this deck looks like. Oh, this is such a cute
with a little hand peeking forward and the third eye right in the middle.
Oh my. Is there a book in here too?
No, it's just the straight up. There's a message on the back of the cards.
Okay. All right. These, what colorful cards.
Mhm.
It says, I am in support of everything in my life. And the back of it says, everything you are against can be restated in a way that puts you in support of something. Instead of being at war, be at peace.
Mm.
Instead of being against poverty, be for prosperity.
Mm. I love that. There's so much depth in that card. Ooh, I'm getting chills.
And the figure on the card is holding a heart. And I love it. I love it. Because, for me, I feel that we are here to serve each other.
Mhm. Mhm.
We're here to serve each other.
Mhm.
Oh, I love it.
Well, there's so much conflict in our society right now, and we tend to polarize to what we feel sure is the right way. And this just says, reframe it. It doesn't have to be right and wrong. There's another way where we can be joined, and that can be the path forward
Right,
together.
right, 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 right. I love it. I think I might have to get one of these boxes.
Got a birthday coming
Very
in a few months. I'll
beautiful.
be happy to help out.
Wow. Well, Stephanie, thank you so much. Is there anything else that you want to say that you feel about for yourself or, all of us as a collective for 2025?
I just feel the the settling of the energies of 2024 is really important. We had such a dramatic energy and polarization, everything. It was just there was a lot to that energy. And so I think just settling and just allowing our spirits to take hold and, just find peace and allow, let go and let God is kind of our message. That's what
Yeah.
speaks to me.
I love that word, allow. I love that. And I'm trying to embrace that more and more every day. And gratitude is a big deal for me. Right now, as I've been saying, I feel a lot of gratitude. And I was actually listening to Wayne Dyer, I think, this week, and he was just talking about uh, the energy of allowing, wanting something to happen.
Mhm.
And it's really about getting in the energy. And we actually can get ahead of that energy. And
Mhm.
then that energy, the reality of that thing actually happening will start chasing us
Mhm. Mhm.
because we're so in that
Mhm.
space. That thing that we want to happen is going to happen
Right.
because it's coming after us.
Mhm.
There have been moments, I think, in all of our lives where, things seem to happen at one time and that in a good way.
Mhm.
And we're like, oh my God, what is this? What's going on? And I
Yeah.
think that's an example of
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
So anyway,
Being in the flow.
yeah, being in the flow, allowing gratitude, abundance. So Merry
Yes.
Christmas and Happy New Year.
Merry
And
Christmas
thank
and
you.
Happy New Year 2025 right around the corner.
Yes. All
Let's
righty.
go.
And let's start healing.
Let's start healing.
Thank you for joining us. Remember, you can find all Let's Start Healing episodes wherever you get your podcasts. Until next time, let's start healing.